Energetically matching
words to what you're inviting people to.
Well, what I'm always looking at is, I can only relate this to being a waitress.
Yeah.
Which is so funny. This is where this comes from. But when I was a waitress, I think I had two things. So I knew that I had my own business within the scope of this larger organization. I always went in with like, this is my business. So there was that did something. And then every time people sat in my section, it was my job. I made it my job to craft their experience. Now, this was interesting because every time you walk up to a table, you get a lot of different information. Some people come in and they have already decided they're going to have a shit time. Some people come in and they want you to just guide them and tell them what to do. Some people come in and they already know what they want. So you have to be willing to walk up to a table and read them. But I think this is one of the things we don't do with marketing is we don't get present with what it is.
I think it's because it's so big. Like I get what you're saying. And I do that too with the people who come into the store, and I was a waitress, but for me, when I'm putting something out to a whole bunch of people, I don't know what to say. I get lost in the amount of
the awareness.
Yeah.
So then what would happen if you blend it when you tap into, so we're looking at a program and you tap into the energy, you tap into the future, you get that energy. When you tap into, so let's say we're creating a program. So let's say we're creating marketing to engage. Yeah. Now, tell me when you look at that, what you become aware of. Use some words, use a few words.
Comfortable, engaging, inviting, inspiring.
Okay, so then when you tap into what people are creating out there with marketing, what are some of the words that go with that?
Like pushing, forcing, not fun, really contracted.
Okay. So what is it that people are trying to do with
proving, and competition?
Yes. So what are they trying to create with all of those choices?
They're trying to create their business. Right. But they're not actually creating the future.
Yeah. So what I look at is like, okay, I look at the gap. One of the things I've always been like, I look at the gap. I'm like, what's the gap here? Like, is there a bridge? Like, how can we create something different here? So the gap is you're doing all these things and you think these things are going to get you what you want. Are they? Is the first thing I look at. And this is one of the first things I look at with marketing. I look at what people are doing, what they think it's going to get them what they want. And then I look at what they want. What do most people say? I look at what they say they want. Most people say they want to create a successful business. And this is all from a facilitator's point of view, right? Like you're saying this and you're saying this, but what you're doing is this. Is this creating what it is you say you want? Now, we haven't even started talking about, do you actually want that? Because what you're doing is creating something opposite, but that's a whole other conversation. So, okay, so you're doing, is it creating that? No. What would change if you made a different choice? And this is where I'm moving people along from, hey, let's identify what's happening here. And everybody's like, yeah, that's exactly what's happening. I want to be making more money. I want to do the thing. And then I'm like, okay, cool. So then how do we move you from here to ish over here? Like, what is that? What are the choices that you have to make? What do you have to be willing to do? What are the energetic skills that you already have available to you that you're not using? And how much vulnerability would you have to choose? How much trust would you have to choose? How much gratitude would you have to honoring of you would you have to choose? How intimate would you have to get with what's really true for you in order to engage as that, so that people actually have something they can choose?
Wow.
Because if people can't find you energetically, they can't choose you. And when you're not being present with what's really true for you, when you're just doing business, when you're just doing posts, when you're just doing a page, there's no energy to it. Why? Because you're not in it. And that's why I did that video in the Actualized Business group about program creation. I'm like, I have really had to get present with what is this for me? What am I creating with this? And then from there, it's like, and where's everybody else? And how can I invite them from where they are to a different possibility? And what are the words that I could use for that? So it's a really different, it's a presence. It starts with presence. And then from there, you are energetically engaging with everybody and then going, hey, whoever's looking for this different possibility, here it is. But it's not a doing of marketing anymore. You're engaging with the world to invite them to something different from where you live. So.
Wow. That. I'll have that.